just give me 3 minutes to tell you the truth about Donald Trump that I know, and then all of our campaign staff know.
Because it's my show and I don't want to do that. So
This isn't a courtroom, and I have a right to speak.
Settle down. Settle down. Calm down.
Jake.
I have a question for you about issues. There's one viewer that you care about right now, and you're being obsequious. You're being a factotum in order to please him, okay?
No.
And I think I've wasted enough of my viewers' time.
You know who I
Thank you,
care
Stephen.
about?
As Republicans,
Hey, Jake,
lawmakers
you
call
know
for
who I
Attorney
care
General Jeff
about?
Sessions to resign.
So I have to ask.
My office is decorated with the posters of people who ran for president and lost and did not win. And so we got some Hillarys. John Ashbrook for people who thought Richard Nixon was too liberal.
I'm sure people have told you this before, but you know you have the best porn name ever. Jake Tapper. Okay. So
I'm glad you're familiar with my earlier work.
I remember initially that's why they fired Comey.
Yeah.
Because he was so unfair to Hillary.
Right.
That's what they said.
I know.
That's what they said.
But he was also sticking his thumb in the eyes of Paul Ryan. He was also sticking his I mean, believe me, you know, Jeb Bush is like Oedipus at this point. I mean,
I don't know if you guys knew, but on occasion, President Trump has been known, on occasion, to insult people too.
Oh my God. Breaking news.
It has you really have to follow the news closely.
Because he does it between the lines.
Yeah,
it's
so
very
it's subtle. It's subtle.
but also, it's just such a bizarre formulation. What about all the lies that Nixon didn't tell?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Well, I'm not a crook.
What are you talking about?
Right.
What about all the presidents that John Wilkes Booth didn't kill?
Yeah.
And so it was this big ad from the Morgensterns of Wynwood congratulating the school in its 40th year, and it had 40th year in big letters. And when you folded it in, it became an appendage of that only men have.
Yeah.
And boys.
Yeah.
But this was definitely a man's.
Okay.
And it said, for all the BS, eat this.
Wow.
And we had to do community service, and we had to apologize. Although our apology was great, it was before we even knew what a Washington, D.C. apology was, and we wrote one of those, like, I'm sorry if anybody was offended. You delicate creatures.
I actually saw that apology, and when you folded that in, it was also
I interviewed him and tried to get him to distance himself from the Ku Klux Klan and David Duke.
Yes, and I think I remember that, and he was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You're asking me to condemn groups I don't know about them. I don't know who they are.
And it was like, it's a KKK.
And I was just like, it's David Duke.
I don't know.
Really, honestly, the easiest question in politics is, will you condemn the Ku Klux Klan?
Yes.
It's not a tough one.
Can I ask you? There's a great meme that's been going around of your WTF face during the Kellyanne Conway interview. Looks like you just drank some sour milk. Can I ask you quickly about...
I don't make these faces on purpose. This is just my face. We've been out to dinner. You know, I spend half the time you and I are having dinner making that face.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know why. I don't know why you keep having dinner with me. You never seem to enjoy it, because that's all I see.
I think that they voted for him.
You're right.
Because I don't think they voted for him. They heard the Access Hollywood tape and they thought, oh yeah, I want that in the White House. I think that they didn't like Hillary Clinton for a whole bunch of reasons that I'm not going to cite here because Barney Frank will come and hit me.
I want to point out, this is you in 2016, before all this mishigas, okay? Yeah. This is you today. Yeah. This is, okay, but before you get mad at me for pointing this out to a guest, this is me in 2016, okay? This is me today.
Now, on the other hand, there could be one. I mean, if President... Sorry about the dogs. It's very rude. Thanks for letting the dogs out. So anyway...
Really? What did you learn?
Well, I learned that my son has absolutely no regard for what I do.
Really?
He doesn't care. Legos, please. That's all. He's 9. Legos.
That's fitting.
Just tell me about Legos.
That's fitting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just kept changing the.
What about your daughter?
Then I got up and he wrote on the computer, "Hi, Buttman."
Does he have a packet? Because we're always looking for writers around here.
I'm like, I texted her and I'm like, the president just insulted me. She's like, yeah, okay, whatever. and I'm like, no, and he brought you into it. She's like, what? And I sent her the clip, and she's like, oh, that's so funny. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
It's all just. It's like living in some crappy apartment right out of college, and like the furnace is constantly making noise, and by the you don't even hear it by the first week. But, it's just like oh, the president's insulting you and questioning your marriage in front of an entire world, and like, oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't like it when there's misbehavior. So you watch yourself.
I do.
Well, you know my wife.
Jen, wonderful.
Do you think she likes me?
I do. I mean, we've been out a few times, and like at least one of them, she seemed into you.
Yeah. I'm told that she likes me, but I need a second source.
Yeah.
So just
But
a journalistic
report on it. Yeah,
just journalistic thing.
How do you, your face is completely straight in those moments. How, Jake?
First of all, on the face thing, a lot of Botox. So, I can't. And then I tweeted it, and somebody from the New York Times, a nice woman named Barry Weiss, reached out and said, would your daughter want to write an op-ed for us? And she did it. And honestly, these kids, she's like, oh, that's cool. She doesn't know.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked to write an op-ed in the New York Times?
I've had a few in there, but never. It's more like I've begged to get them in.
Yeah.
I've never been solicited.
Right.
The day that he accused Ted Cruz's father of somehow being connected to the Kennedy assassination.
Yes. Because he was in the picture. I saw him.
And you saw it too.
I saw it.
You were there.
I was there, Jake.
It was in Soweto.
I know you're an Eagles fan, and
I am.
so you this thus ended a year of being able to say you were the world champion. Just Philadelphia Eagles.
Only last night, but yes.
Only last night. But
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed your run. It was a fantastic run, and I hope
It was great.
Yeah.
It never happened in my lifetime.
I just want to say, I hope you got the full amount of joy from it.
You're saying this like it's never going to happen again.
No, I think
Right?
now it's just going to be it's the Patriots forever now.
No, that's not. I've had all women panels lots of times, but it is true that this Sunday I felt that we'd heard from men enough, and most of the time when they want to get across their point of view, even if they think you're being unfair or they don't like the questions, there's an effort made to have a certain behavior like a human being.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because you're a human.
I'm a
Humans
human
are
being.
watching.
Yeah. My viewers are 90% human,
Yeah.
10% cats. And then when Senator McCain started asking questions about the Yemen raid, and the White House suggested that how dare anyone question this military mission. Senator John McCain is the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee.
Sure.
Actually, literally his job to question a military operation.
Yeah.
But you're right to say that the era of trivial matters is over, but we're still going to boycott CNN. I mean, that's no one said it in a Mr. Magoo voice.